Okay friends, so in this video lecture we will discuss the experiment on a RC phase shift oscillator using the operational amplifier. Now in the previous session already we have discussed what is the oscillator circuit and what is the condition for the oscillator, which that is called a Barkhausen criteria. So basically when we have a oscillator circuit, then there will be a kind of a internal amplifier. Always the internal amplifier is there, and the output of the internal amplifier is given to a feedback network, and you are selecting the amount of the feedback of the output voltage, and whatever the feedback signal is there, again it is a input for the amplifier circuit. So here we have a kind of a loop, and this loop has to satisfy certain condition. What is that condition? That is known as the Barkhausen criteria. And the one of the Barkhausen criteria is that the K into AV must be equal to 1. Means amount of the feedback factor and the gain of the internal amplifier. That product has to be a unity. And the second thing, that whatever the phase introduced by the loop, it must be either a 0 degree or a 360 degree. So if this amplifier is satisfied these two conditions, then the amplifier will work as a oscillator. Now, if you look at the circuit diagram, here we are using the 741. It is a operational amplifier, and this operational amplifier has two input terminals. One is known as a inverting terminal, and another is a non-inverting terminal. Here we use this op-amp as an inverting amplifier. This is my inverting amplifier because the signal is given to a inverting terminal. So if it is used as an inverting amplifier, then always it is providing a phase difference of a 180 degree. Okay? Now if you look at this is the output terminal of the 741, output terminal of my internal amplifier, and it is connected to this 3 RC network, and this part is nothing but it is your a feedback network. Remember, this is the feedback network, and if this inverting amplifier is introducing a 180 degree phase shift, then to satisfy the Barkhausen criteria, whatever the feedback network is there, it has to also introduce a phase difference of 180 degree. Now this feedback network consists of a 3 RC network. One of the RC network is this, second RC network is this, and the third RC network is this. So if there are 3 RC network and you want a 180 degree of a phase shift, means that each RC network has to introduce a 60 degree. So here the resistance R1 and C1, it is selected in such a way that this will provide a 60 degree of a phase shift. Then another R2 and C2 is there, it is also providing a 60 degree of a phase shift. R3 and C3 is providing a 60 degree of the phase shift. So in this way, by using a 3 section of the RC network, you will get a 180 degree of the phase shift. So here when this from this signal, here if we have a positive cycle at the input of the inverting amplifier, then output you will get a negative cycle because there is a 180 degree of the phase shift. Now this is connected to a feedback network. So at the input of the feedback network, the signal is there, like first of all we have a negative cycle. Then the output of the feedback network, it is going to be inverted and you will get the positive cycle. Means the phase difference between the input signal and the feedback signal, here it is going to be a 0 degree. So here this amplifier, the 741 operational amplifier, will work as a oscillator circuit. Now, what should be the minimum gain of the amplifier? Here, that in the theory, In the theory of a RC phase shift oscillator, already you have learned that the minimum required gain of the amplifier must be a minus 29. That negative sign is indicating that the phase difference of a 180 degree. So here in a inverting amplifier, already you know that this is my feedback resistance and feedback resistor is there, and this is our input resistance. Correct? And the gain of this inverting amplifier is given as AV is equal to minus RH by R1. So here R1 is fixed, that is a 1 kilo. Now we have to set the value of a feedback resistance RF so that the gain will be equal to a 29. If the gain is less than 29, then the Burkhausen criteria is not satisfied and amplifier will not work as an oscillator. So here you set this value of the potentiometer so that the gain will be exactly a 29. And if it will be larger than 29, then sometimes you will get a distorted signal. There will be a kind of a clipping of a signal either on a positive side or on a negative side. So using this potentiometer, we can set the gain of the amplifier. And here you connect the oscilloscope at pin number 6 and ground, and you can see the sine wave at the output. Now whatever the frequency is generated, that this frequency, the theoretical formula is a oscillation of the frequency is given by 1 upon 2 pi root 6 RC. Correct? And here in this experiment, you have to either change the value of the resistance or you change the value of the capacitor and measure what is the periodic time. Periodic time means this one distance between the two peaks, that is a periodic time t. And then use this formula F is equal to 1 upon t and calculate the field frequency of oscillation. So in this experiment, for a 3 different value of a capacitor or a 3 different value of resistance, here you measure the periodic time and can calculate the frequency of oscillation and compare with this a theoretical formula. Okay? So this is a part 1 of the experiment. Now in a second part, we will verify that the phase difference introduced by this network is 60, 120 and a 180 degree here. What we have to do in the second part? Just now already mentioned that this network will give you a phase difference of a 60 degree. So at this point the phase difference is 60 degree. If we consider that point A, here it is a 0 degree phase is there. Then here if you measure the phase, then this will be a 120 degree, and here if you measure the phase, then it is a 180 degree phase will be there. Correct? So here using the oscilloscope, we can measure this phase difference of 60 degree, 120 degree and 180 degree. How we can measure this? So what you have to do, that you have to connect the oscilloscope, one of the terminal of the oscilloscope at the point A and another channel of the oscilloscope to the point B, and you can see the two sine wave like this. Here you have to use a dual channel oscilloscope. So connect the point A here. Whatever the point A is there, this point has to be connected to a Y1 input of the oscilloscope, and point B has to be connected to the Y2 input of the oscilloscope. So you will find the two sine wave. but they are not in the same phase. There is a phase difference. Now in the oscilloscope directly we cannot measure the phase. You can measure the time, and from the time we can calculate what is the phase difference between the two signals. Now already we know that if we have a sine wave like this, and if this is a periodic time t is there, then in a periodic time t the phase difference is a 360 degree. Here this is a 0 degree, here we have a 180 degree, here it is a 360 degree. So we can say that for the time period t, the phase difference is 360 degree. Now if we have the time small t, then what is the phase difference? Correct? So the phase difference you can write as t divided by capital T into a 360 degree. So in the oscilloscope we can measure what is the small t, and you can use this formula for calculating the phase difference between these two. Then you connect this oscilloscope to the point C. So here between the point A and B you will get a phase difference of 60 degree. Then you connect to the point C, then you will find a phase difference of 120 degree. Means in that case this t will be large, almost it will be a double. Correct? Because the phase difference is double. So that t will be also a double. And you can verify this phase difference using this formula. Correct? So this is the second part, and here you can note down your observation in this table. Here, that whatever the wave is generating, that you have to note down what is the periodic time t of this wave. Let us say this periodic time is a 62 microsecond. Then you connect your oscilloscope to the point A and point B, point A and B, and measure what is the time t. So let us say it is a 11 microsecond. Okay? And you can calculate the phase, and this phase will almost comes out to be a 60 degree. Formula for the phase is this: small t divided by capital T multiplied by 360 degree. Then you connect the oscilloscope between the point A and C. Then you will measure this. Here let us say it is a 22.1 microsecond, and you will get almost a 120 degree of a phase shift. Then you connect to the point C, and here you will find that is a 34 microsecond, and this will be almost a 180 degree. Okay? So in this way we can verify that each RC section is generating a 60 degree of a phase shift or not. Then you can change the value of the capacitor and find out another frequency of oscillation, and for that also you can verify that the phase difference is 60, 120 and 180 is there or not. So now let us see the experiment. Today we are going to discuss another experiment. Also it is related with the oscillator, and it is a RC phase shift oscillator using the operational amplifier. Correct? Now in theory already you know any oscillator circuit there will be one internal amplifier. So here the 741 op-amp is working as a internal amplifier, and there are three RC network is there, and they are working as a feedback network. If you see the pin number 6 is the output of the amplifier, and this output of the amplifier is connected back to this feedback network, and the output of the feedback network is given to a inverting terminal of the operational amplifier. Now here in a RC phase shift oscillator, the minimum gain of the internal amplifier is a 29, and this gain you can set by changing the feedback resistance RF.
So here, this is my feedback resistance 20K plus 22K, and the input resistance is 1K. Now you can set this feedback resistance such that the ratio will comes out to be a 29. So the gain of the amplifier will be a 29, and it will satisfy the Barkhausen criteria, and the whole circuit will work as a oscillator. Now in this board, here we have to connect a plus 12 supply. So I am connecting a power supply to this plus 12. Then the second terminal is connected to a ground, and the third one is connected to a minus 12. Pin number 6 is the output where we are connecting a oscilloscope. So oscilloscope ground is connected here, and the live terminal is connected to this oscilloscope. Now let us switch on this power supply. So now you will find a sine wave on a screen of the oscilloscope. Correct? So we have to measure what is the periodic time. And that periodic time you can measure either by using a measure button, or you can use the cursor button. But to measure more accurately, you can expand the time axis by changing this position of second per division knob. So here you can see, so more accurately we can measure this, and at least you can see the 2 peak. Now you set the cursor on a 2 peak and find out what is the difference between the time. So here I am pressing this button of cursor. So the cursor button is now active, and the cursor is also active. Just now the cursor 1 is there. So you can set the cursor 1 on the one of the peak of the AC cycle. Then press the cursor 2 and set this position of the cursor 2. Again you set it on another peak of a AC cycle. So here whatever the time period is there, this is known as the periodic time. And this periodic time you can see it is mentioned here delta T, and it is a 65.2 microsecond. So we have measured the periodic time, and from that we can calculate F is equal to 1 upon T, that what is the frequency of oscillation. Now if you want to measure directly, then press the measure button here on the oscilloscope. So directly you can see what is the frequency of oscillation. So channel 1, the frequency is 15.4 kilohertz. And what is the periodic time? It is also mentioned. It is something about a 64.5 microsecond. Now here if you see the effect of this a feedback resistance. Here if I am changing this, then you can see there is no oscillation. No oscillation means the gain of this internal amplifier is less than 29. So Barkhausen criteria is not satisfying. So slightly I am increasing this, and for particular value the gain is going to be 29, and you can see the oscillations. Just see, try to understand. And here now the oscillation has started, and now the gain is more than 29, and if it will be very large, then the signal is going to be distorted. So when you are performing the experiment, if you are not finding a waveform on a screen, then first of all you try to set the feedback resistance, then you can see the oscillation on this screen of the oscilloscope. Now this frequency of the oscillation you can change by changing 3 different values of the capacitor. Here the C1, C2 and C3, just now they are identical. You can also have a different value of that, and by changing this you can change the frequency of oscillation. So at least for 3 different set of the capacitor, you have to find out what is the periodic time and what is the frequency of oscillation. Okay, now we will measure the phase difference introduced by each RC network, and for that we have to use a dual channel oscilloscope like this. It has a 2 input, channel 1 is there, channel 2 is there. We are connecting channel 1 to this point A, and the channel 2 is connected to the point B, connecting the channel 2 to the point B. So we will see what is the phase difference introduced by this first RC network. Now if we switch on the supply, then if you see the oscillated wave on the screen of the oscilloscope, correct, you can see the two sine waves are there. That one of the sine wave, that yellow one is the input of the RC network, and the blue one is the output of the RC network. They are not in the same phase. There is a phase difference between the two signal is there, and if you measure this time period between these two signal, you can calculate what is the phase difference. And for that, here we are going to use a cursor. So there is a button in a oscilloscope where you have to press the cursor. So when you press the cursor, then you will find a menu on this oscilloscope. Here the type of the cursor is there. So if you press this, then the cursor is going to be on. Now the first type of the cursor is the amplitude. We are not going to measure the amplitude. So again you press it, then you will find a cursor of a time, because you want to measure the time. So you have to keep the cursor on a time position. Now there are two cursors you can see. You can see they both are of a yellow one. This is the cursor number 1 and this is the cursor number 2 is there. Now cursor 1, you set the any one of the peak of the signal like this. So first cursor is set. Now here there is a second cursor button for the second cursor is there. You press the second cursor, then the second cursor is going to be active, and you can change the position of this. So you set this another cursor on the another peak of the signal, correct? So here whatever the difference is there, whatever the time difference is between these two, that you can measure on the oscilloscope, and it is already mentioned here that the delta t you can see it is a 10 microsecond, correct? So you can measure this delta t, and the periodic time already you have calculated, that is a 136 microsecond or whatever it is. But from that you can find out what is the phase difference between these two. Now if I will place this oscilloscope on a point C, means the two RC networks are there, means theoretically the phase difference should be a 120 degree. Then you will find the waves on this oscilloscope. So now you can see when we have a 2 RC network, means the phase difference should be at least a 120 degree, and you can see here the time period has to be almost a double. So again to measure this time period, we have to set the position of the cursor. So here one of the cursor you set on this peak of the yellow cycle, and then you select another cursor and set this on a blue cycle. So this will give you here this time, this is the time period between the two signal, and you can see this delta t is almost a 22 microsecond. 22 microsecond is there. In the first case you have found that it was a 10 to 11 microsecond. Now here it is a 22 microsecond, means the phase is almost going to be a double. Same way you can connect oscilloscope to the point D, and you can measure the phase difference is 180 degree or not, correct? And note down all this reading in your observation table, calculate the phase and compare with the theoretical value of the phase.